And lastly, David Rothkopf, you brought up the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, and despite the many accomplishments of President Obama on the foreign policy front, perhaps that's one area where he may have fallen short. What do you think the prospects are for resolving this conflict, for indeed creating a Palestinian state side by side with a secure Israel?
I think first of all, I wouldn't take the president to particular task for this. These problems have been around for president after president after president. We've had ups and downs, but essentially made very little progress. Secondly, I think that there's a clock ticking, and the clock is a demographic clock. The idea of Israel as a democratic Jewish state is in deep peril because of the speed of the growth of the Palestinian population. Time is on the Palestinian side. It is not on the Israeli side. And the efforts of Prime Minister Netanyahu to distract attention to Iran or to distract attention with settlements policy that further alienates the world, I think is dangerous. And ultimately, particularly taken in combination with the kind of strategic changes that are taking place in the Middle East, where a critical player, Egypt, is no longer going to play the role that it used to play, that the Israelis need to very quickly move to a new mode of recognizing that the most important thing to them is a thriving Palestinian economy that creates jobs for Palestinian young men and women, so that what happens is they say, yes, I want to work within the system rather than against the system, and you achieve stability. But the future, the most important thing to Israeli security is Palestinian prosperity.
That seems to me quite self-evident. Why do you think that that message doesn't seem to have gotten to the leaders in Israel?
Smokers smoke, fat people eat cheeseburgers. People stick within habits, and the same is true intellectually, where they sort of believe things which may actually have been true at the time they were taught them. They become ingrained in their DNA. And they also take on a political meaning, which means that renouncing them is seen as being disloyal to something. And situations like this actually require that people set aside their political beliefs and they set aside their old habitual notions, and they evaluate the strategic situation as it really is and as it's going to become, and then make a pragmatic decision. The pragmatic decision for people who want to see a healthy, thriving Israel is to work very hard towards a healthy, thriving Palestinian territory, a Palestinian independent state.